There's just something about facing an enemy that's way larger than you that can feel both exhilarating and terrifying. When I was way younger, I used to be so horrified at the idea of Striders in Half-Life 2. The fact that the Combine contained such a giant always fascinated the fuck out of me. So looking back, I guess you could say that was only really the beginning. Climbing Mount Olympus, Kratos not only faces against gods, but also against titans, like the... You would think that a titan of that size would overwhelm him, but Kratos being Kratos kills him in the QuickTime event. Another titan that Kratos faces off is Cronos. Being the biggest and most outlandish boss in the game, starts off with Cronos trying to crush Kratos with his finger, which by the way is 100 times the size of him. But again, it being Kratos, he just pushes it off with pure brute strength. The rest of the fight consists of Kratos hitting smaller things like his nails before Kratos dives into his stomach, killing him from the inside out. One thing God of War is best known for is demonstrating Kratos' struggle and pure will, going up against the odds and beating them. Throughout the games, you see this multiple times against the gods, but when you see the absolute difference in size between him and the titans, it makes you question how you would defeat something that big. That's what always intrigued me about these enemies, that big question of how. Facing enemies of that size always leaves you on alert on what they'll do next and how it'd even be possible to fight back. The horror of the pure destruction they leave behind is so impactful it made me want to make a video about it. We're talking about a Soulsborne game, so of course that means there are a ton of giant enemies to fight. Take the Fire Giant for example, who's the biggest boss in the game. An extremely important part of a giant enemy is of course the way they attack you. The Fire Giant utilizes his giant body against someone small like you by attacking you with everything he has. In his first phase, he starts throwing at you with his whole body, giving him a wide range of attack. In his second phase, he now has control over fire, which can attack you from very large distances. Having to dodge his incoming rolls in the flaming rocks that he shoots out, then getting up close and personal to damage him, leaves you with almost no room to get a hit in, and stress about when the next one is coming. Not forgetting about the craziest pre-patched boss Radon, whose size and weapon make it seem like you have no chance at a close range. The game allows his aggressive attacks to be diverted by summoning allies, and putting his attention somewhere else. His second phase, however, is something that gets almost everyone. When Radon gets to half health, he vanishes, until you see and hear the pure destruction of a fucking meteor coming after you. This attack usually one-shots and fairly so. It's literally a burning rock of fucking meteorite. All of the reactions to this attack are priceless, because no one expects it at all. Oh no! No! It comes out of nowhere, but it's so fitting for a character named the Conqueror of the Stars. One huge difference between these fights and God of War is a lack of quick time events. Although I prefer the way Elden Ring handles it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's better or worse. Sometimes the way a game handles a giant boss fight can seem much easier for a developer. To have a couple of buttons pressed during basically a cutscene to demonstrate something seems much better than having a whole fight like Elden Ring does. Plus, it may not even be possible to have a fight done that way because the game plays differently. The obvious pick and ultimate reason I made this video is because of Shadow of the Colossus. It's widely regarded as one of the best video games of all time, and for good reason. The simple storytelling, the breathtaking environments, and incredible boss battles all come together to create a true masterpiece. The game revolves around defeating the 16 Colossi, and each one having a unique and challenging puzzle to solve. Because the game's focus is on the bosses rather than smaller enemies, each meeting of a Colossi can feel more important and exciting. The lack of dialogue and other distractions only amplifies the sense of loneliness and introspection that permeates throughout the game. So much more could be said about a game this good, but I feel like I can say more that others haven't said a million times already. Please check out this unreasonably small video from FilmOtter, who dives deep into how influential this game truly was. Another franchise that takes their own approach to a giant enemy is in Bowser's Fury. Being the latest Mario game in the series, they've taken everything they've learned up to now and combined it into one title. Having the elements of Super Mario 3D World but in a similar structure to Odyssey, and instead of traditional levels, uses open areas without loading screens or boundaries. Bowser himself has changed quite a bit, and instead of being the final boss, is a constant threat throughout the game. Every few minutes, Bowser will transform the daytime into an apocalyptic nighttime, with fireballs raining down towards the player. To stop it, you can activate a lighthouse and collect a cat shine. This event can interrupt whatever you're doing, but also help you. Baiting Bowser's fire breath to destroy what would have been indestructible obstacles can help you progress and find secret cat shines. After collecting enough cat shines, Mario is able to pick up a giant bell in the middle of the world, putting you at his size. This allows you to fight back. The threat of Bowser in this game is constant. He's always ready to appear to mess with whatever cat shine you're going after. This sort of threat keeps the player on their toes and doesn't stop until you finish the game. All of these games showcase different styles of giant enemies. From completely outlandish fights to challenging intense battles and a constant threat, giant enemies provide players with a unique experience.
Look, it's a SpongeBob!
But how does a game do a giant enemy incorrectly? The Ender Dragon boss fight in Minecraft is considered to be a lackluster experience. The lack of music, build-up, and atmosphere all contribute to making the fight feel underwhelming. Without any background music to set the tone, the fight lacks any sense of urgency or importance. Additionally, the lack of any significant build-up. The fight just happens suddenly and without warning. The environment also plays a part in making the fight less noteworthy. The arena is essentially just a flat platform in the middle of the end, with nothing particularly interesting or unique about it. To beat the Ender Dragon, you have to destroy the end crystals above the obsidian towers by building up or shooting at them, and then just directly attacking the dragon itself. All these factors combined can make the Ender Dragon fight disappointing. Although you can make arguments that Notch did well with what he had at the time, you cannot change the fact that Microsoft could have at least attempted to update it. When they took over in 1.9 for the combat update, they made very minuscule changes to the boss fight, only adding fireballs and the ability to respawn the dragon. Since then, they haven't done anything with it. It's not like Microsoft is new to making good Minecraft enemies. The Warden, for example, is great at building atmosphere. He has a nerve-wracking build-up, needing to activate the Shrieker 3 times before he digs out of the floor to find you. He has the instincts of an animal. He sniffs out the air to go look for you. And when he does, it's almost impossible to get away. All of this, and he's not even a boss you're meant to fight. He's purposely overpowered so you're supposed to run away while hiding from him. Yet he feels more complete than the Ender Dragon. Even Minecraft Story Mode did it better. For me, these encounters have become a personal favorite. There's something about the rush that comes from facing off something so much bigger than myself, the feeling of accomplishment and finally taking down a behemoth. Giant enemies have the ability to make characters feel small and insignificant, but they also allow them to rise to the challenge and prove their worth. The next time you face a giant enemy, take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and design, embrace the challenge and the experience, and find yourself in the midst of a gaming moment you'll never forget.